very beneficial and very usable in all aspects or in all facets of business. Now, someone might ask, now I might buy something that you give you the money now and you give it to me in a year. But there is a chance, now as we said, the general rule is you're gonna sell it to me or you're gonna give me a good price now, so when you give it to me in a year, I can make some money. You're not going to sell it to me with the price it's gonna sell in a year. So because I'm helping you, I'm buying something, and we say with buying and selling, we can change whatever prices we want. So, is there a chance, going back to the same example, the 1,000 pounds of dates, we said now it's worth $10,000, in a year it's going to worth, when it's the season, maybe not a year, 6 months, because in a year we're back to the same spot. In 6 months, we said when it's time to collect, to give me the dates, it's the season, you can give me, or I can sell it for 12,000. Is there a chance that when the 6 months come and you give me the date, that is going to be worth $8,000?
Yes.
Too much supply. For example, this it's working?
Yeah.
Okay. Too much supplies. Or the market is down, no demand. All right? So that means there's a chance. So how can I, as let's say the bank, now a bank will say, I have a problem with this. There's no guarantee that I can sell it for higher. So we tell the bank, we can get you a substitute, we can give you an alternative. That this way you guarantee that you're going to make some money. Who can think of an alternative? Now don't get stuck only it's a bank. I'm mentioning the bank because we're talking about a solution, overall solution. But it can be at personal level. You come to me and you say, lend me $5,000 because I need to invest it in X, and I give you to sell you, and for those $5,000 I will sell you, let's say 1,000 shirts, but I give them to you in 6 months. Okay? It can happen at personal level. I'm mentioning banks because we're trying to give alternatives. Maybe a bank will listen to this lecture and say, wow, that's a smart idea. All right? How can we tell the bank, don't worry about it. We give you another kind of transaction to make sure that you will not lose money. Because we know you're all about making money.
You can tell the bank that you will pay. If they can't find a seller, then you're going to pay them the money.
Give them back the money?
Yeah, seller.
No, that is not.
Doesn't the bank have to assume some type of risk to make the transaction allowable?
Of course. But now we're talking about, there is a risk. But we're talking about for someone who doesn't want to take the risk. Someone worried.
Give them more quantity of the product.
No. Whatever we agree on, that is what. Even if you give them more quantity, you don't know what the difference is going to be. Another solution or a solution for this risk or for this danger. Now the risk comes here because the product is turned in later. So a solution is called aqd muwazi. Okay? Aqd muwazi. Or, if I can translate it, parallel contract. Parallel. When we say parallel, we mean at the same time. Okay? What does that mean? Okay. When we say al-aqd al-muwazi or salam al-muwazi, means the bank has the deal with the farmer, right? What is it? The bank gonna buy from the farmer 1,000 pounds of date for $10,000, and the date's turned in 6 months from now. The bank goes to someone else and does the same contract, but now opposite. So now the bank, what they're gonna sell?
The date.
1,000 pounds of dates. Okay, to a guy for $11,000. Got it? So when and they agree, the bank will agree with this person, we're gonna give you the dates in 6 months and 10 days. However, when we say parallel, that means they cannot cross, meaning there cannot be any connection between this contract, between the bank and the farmer, and between the bank, the contract between the bank and, let's say, the distributor. Meaning what? Meaning the bank cannot sell the same exact product. What does that mean? The bank cannot say, to the distributor, I'm gonna sell you the 1,000 pounds that I agreed on with, let's say, farmer X. But he can give him the same description. So if the time comes and farmer cannot provide the 1,000 pounds to the bank can go and get it from somewhere else. Alright? So in this manner, the bank guarantees its money. It guarantees it's going to make profit. So risk-free. Because remember, the bank is not it's not a supermarket. The bank doesn't want to deal with it. That's why the riba taking place with the banks, because the banks don't want to own anything. The banks come and you want the house, we will pay for it and you pay us back. But if the bank wants to go to the house and buy the house and have possession of the house, which is few extra steps, then you go ahead and you can buy it from the bank and the bank can finance it for you. You understand? And it all will be okay with specifics. But in general, the general idea of riba, then there will be no riba in this kind of transaction. Okay? But the problem, the bank never has possession of anything. The bank lends the money. So once there's a third party lending and collecting back more, that is where riba comes in. Alright? And that's what we will talk about in the next weeks, inshallah. Okay? So that's one of the applications. That is Salam al-Muwazi. That is the parallel salam or the parallel contract to guarantee or to cut down on the risk. Alright? That is one of the solutions for the banks who want to do this, or the people. Okay. So these are some few transactions that I gave some examples where we can sell and buy, we can get money to invest, and both parties can benefit without dealing with riba. Because always you hear, like some of the brothers said, for example, there are some companies out there, Islamic financing for a house, alright? Some of them are completely fake, some of them are completely nonsense, some of them are completely cashing on the sentiment and the emotion of the Muslims, and Muslims want to follow their deen, and some of them are closer to the Sharia, okay? So one of those companies, the way they do it, is they tell you which house you want. You tell them, I want house A. So they go and they buy the house, and they own the house, and the house is registered in the bank's name. Then they come and they tell you, okay, now we will, how long you want to pay for it? Over how long? You tell them 30 years. They said, okay, the house is $200,000, the mortgage rate is 5%, and over 30 years, the house will end up $400,000, for example. If you go with regular mortgage, it's going to be $400,000 at the end. So we're going to sell you the house, and you're going to pay us over 30 years, $400,000. Now, what's the price of the house? $200,000. Now, such transaction is no problem. You see, the key is the bank had possession of the house. Now, someone might say, where is the Islamic here if they're still going to make money out of you? Now the question becomes, how you want these banks to operate? They can just buy you the house for $200,000 and finance it for you over 30 years for $200,000? First of all, it's an investment for you, because most probably this house that is $200,000 today, 30 years from now is more than $400,000. You understand? So why he doesn't look at this point and this aspect? They don't, because they're limited. They're looking for completely